What's up, elevators? Welcome back to another MBE Talks. I'm Mary.
I'm Laz.
And today's topic is about self-awareness. So I'm going to be asking Laz some questions in order to help us understand more what self-awareness is and how can we practice it. So Laz, what is self-awareness?
So self-awareness is the act of being aware of not only who you are, but the things that you do and how that affects other people. When we're self-aware, we're more mindful and we are more in the present, as opposed to when we're not self-aware, we're just doing things without putting thought or consideration into how other people feel or how it might damage or affect you in the long run.
Okay, so how can we practice self-awareness?
Well, there are a myriad of ways for you to practice self-awareness. The first most important way to practice self-awareness is meditation. Why? Because meditation helps you stay centered in one place. And you're focusing on your thoughts and your emotions and how you feel. And it helps you cope. It helps you be aware in the present, which brings in self-awareness. Because when we're able to process our thoughts, we're able to see things in a different light. We no longer let our thoughts and emotions affect us. We are aware of them now. Because before, when we weren't being self-aware, when we weren't meditating, we weren't aware of what was affecting us. It could have been past trauma. It could have been, a really bad situation that happened recently, or something that's affecting you that it could really change your view on life and what you see and how you feel. We're very delicate creatures, and a very small push can set us off in a whole path of chaos. Another way you can be self-aware is by practicing self-reflection. Now, self-reflection is similar to meditation in a way. You are sitting in a place where you're lying down somewhere comfortably and you are thinking about why you are the way you are or why you did what you did. That's called self-reflection. It's very, very therapeutic because it helps you find answers to the things that you might have done without really thinking, or you just did it out of pure anger or whatever emotion you're feeling in that moment. So self-awareness helps you see yourself through a brighter lens. And all you have to do is, it's literally, you sit down, you close your eyes, and you ask yourself, why did I hurt this person? Or what could I have done better? Or how can I be better? Just asking these questions helps you move on from whatever it is you're feeling, from whatever negative emotion is affecting you in the moment. That is huge, guys. Huge, huge, huge. And it helps you transcend to a better you.
I also feel like self-reflecting helps us address whatever we're struggling with internally. If we're feeling insecure, we can question why we feel insecure. And by self-reflecting and questioning ourselves, we find the root of the problem.
That's right. So whenever we have all these internal issues going on, when we ask ourselves these questions, we're able to see the problem at hand. All these internal issues are masked. You can't really sense them, you can't really feel them. So doing the self-reflection really helps you address, like she said, the situation or the problem. So now another way to be self-aware is by practicing breath work. When we practice breath work, we're focusing on our breath coming in and out of our body. And that's it. There's no thoughts about what you have to do, what you've done, what is going to happen. It's just a breath. It's being here now. And being here now and being aware of the now is one of the most important things you can practice, especially in times like these. There's a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos. It helps you become centered, and in turn, it gives you a sense of peace. When we're breathing, we're connecting with our body, emotionally, mentally, physically, on all sorts of levels. So we're feeling this breath coming into our body, and we're becoming self-aware of our internal organism, which is beautiful. And it can help you through a lot of things, because our breath is powerful. Breath is life. Breath is energy. Prana. Believe it or not, just with breath work, you can cure trauma. You can cure negative pent-up emotions that are stored in our bodies. That's all it is. It's all negative energy that can be stored within the body if we don't deal with it. and over time it rots, and it makes you worse and worse, and you're asking yourself, why am I depressed? Why am I mad all the time? It's because it's something you haven't dealt with. And breathing helps with that. It helps clear those blocks away.
Creates a flow.
Yeah, it helps create a flow of energy in your body. Think of it as a clean water, rinsing off dirt inside your organism. So now that we've talked about all these things, there's one last thing that we all fail to do that's very helpful, and we can do it in our day-to-day lives. We don't even have to sit down and do nothing. You can do it whenever, wherever. And this is actually one of the most important things, guys. It's called mindfulness. It's when we take a pause and we really think about what we're going to do before we do it. It's being mindful, full of mind, putting thought into it, right? Not just doing something and regardless of the consequences, regardless of who it might hurt. I think that's one of the most important things, because we should really I think it's really important to take people's emotions into consideration, and also your own emotions into consideration. We can't just do things for people without thinking either. This is a great way to practice mindfulness, because we give ourselves a sense of self-respect and others as well. And we become aware of a situation on a whole other level. Your friend is fighting another person, right? And you want to jump in and help. You could jump in and help out of emotion because you care for your friend and you want to help them and you want to protect them. But what you're doing is you're escalating the violence and making it worse. You can make it worse. You could both end up in the hospital, or you can make the other person end up in the hospital. So what would be the best thing to do? You step back, assess the situation, and you find out in your mind, what is the best option here? Is it breaking up the fight? Is it helping him? Is it running away? Always be mindful, guys. Always be mindful, because anything can happen in a split second. And yes, our minds are fast enough to calculate the things we do before we do them.
They're like computers.
Oh yeah.
Biological.
So we're very, very much capable of doing that. We just need practice.
Okay, so let me wrap this up in my head here. So you're basically saying that by practicing meditation, we will begin to also practice breath work. Because when we meditate, we're consciously breathing as well. So we're practicing breath work, and then we are feeling our bodies, we're connecting with our bodies, and by doing that, we're becoming more mindful, because we're becoming mindful of our bodies, so we become mindful of our life, our social circle, everything. And then when we become more mindful of our social circle, then we become to self-reflect and to see what serves us and what doesn't. All that from meditation?
Exactly. So it all wraps up into meditation. It all goes back to that. And the crazy part is that you can practice all those things separately if you want to, or you can just meditate, and it's literally all those things and more. So much more. That's just the surface of it, and that's the beauty of meditation. People think they're just sitting there doing nothing. That's far from beyond the truth.
You're doing a lot.
A lot of things are happening when you're meditating, even though you might not see or hear in the beginning.
Alright, Laz, so when would be a good time to meditate?
That's a good question. Now, a good time to meditate would be really any time that you know you're not going to be disturbed. It could be day, night, it doesn't really matter. As long as where you're going to be at, you're not going to be bothered by anybody or maybe any noise or anything like that. So somewhere where it's quiet and somewhere where you feel safe. Okay, so now that we talked about the mind and meditation, how can we use our self-awareness to be aware of our physical form, of our body? What can we do?
So the only way to be aware of our physical body and vessel is by being aware of our health. So how much are we eating? How often are we drinking water? How often are we physically active? Are we overweight? All these things, it's what shows us that we care about our health.
Awesome, that's some good advice. Now, what I'm wondering is, how do we practice that? How do we manifest that into a habit? How do we make it work? Because you're telling me, yeah, I need to be aware of all these things, but how do I start? Where do I start? Do I write it down every time I drink water? What it is? Do I look at myself in the mirror? What do I need to do?
Looking at yourself in the mirror is a really good start because it helps you see what we have to work on, right? So that's something that reminds you every day, I need to take care of my body. Another thing is keeping tabs of how many glasses of water are you drinking. You shouldn't be drinking 8 glasses of water a day. That's excessive.
Yeah, that's actually a myth, guys.
But your body tells you if it's thirsty. So you just have to really listen to your body, and when it's telling you, hey, I need to drink water, like right now, my lips are dry, I need to drink water, then that would be a sign to go and hydrate yourself.
And that's a form of self-awareness.
There you go, look at that.
Look at that, just, wow. It's simple things like that. Just,
very simple, yeah.
when is my body thirsty? It tells you when it's thirsty. You shouldn't be chugging down a gallon of water, every day because they tell you to on YouTube, or they tell you to and the doctor tells you to. Like, listen to your body, bro. Forget the doctor, listen to your body. That's the real doctor.
Your body is what knows what you need and what you don't need, and what you have too much of and what you don't have enough of. Another tip on how to be aware of your health is by monitoring how often you are physically active. So what we do is, well, it's easier for us because I train for a living, so it's easier for us to monitor our routine, but a calendar is your best friend. Whether it's a physical calendar or a digital calendar, I have both because I'm a little nutty like that, but you don't need to be excessive. You can choose one and make sure you have a routine already. And start with 3 days out of the week. 3 days out of the week, 30 minutes, and you're gonna see results quickly. You just have to maintain consistency. If you can physically see that you are actively exercising on a weekly basis, it's going to reinforce you to stay exercising. In fact, if you see yourself exercising 3 times out of the week, it's gonna motivate you to wanna make that 5 times out of the week, and that's the goal.
And yeah, and the same thing goes for meditation, guys. It's at the beginning, you're not gonna want to do it. It's simple. You don't want to sit down and do nothing. When again, you are doing a lot. You're not doing nothing. But you're not gonna want to do it because you're used to, going to watch a show, or you're used to walking around doing something. It's all about consistency. Okay. Don't get ahead of yourself either. Do what you can handle.
Yes.
With meditation, it's the same. If you can't sit down for more than 10 minutes, then do 5 minutes.
That's how I started.
Do 5 minutes a day, or maybe 3 times a day, until you keep increasing it every week. Increase it a little more. Now it's going to be 5 minutes for 5 days. Next week it's going to be 5 minutes for the whole week. And then you increase the time to 10, 15, 20, 30, and so on. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
And you also monitor that. So just like how I said, keep a routine when it comes to exercising and monitor yourself on a weekly basis. Monitor your meditation sessions as well. So if you want to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you should do the same with meditation. Meditate Monday, Wednesday, Friday until you can actually start meditating every day, right?
Exactly. And you know what? In the beginning, everything is hard. But as you do things and as you get used to it, as you learn more and you get more skilled, it becomes a hobby. It becomes something you actually want to do. It becomes a therapy.
It is a therapy. So in conclusion, self-awareness is vital to our evolution, our growth, our everything.
So vital, guys. And it all, as you saw, it all correlates with each other. It all connects. Physical and mental is really one, and that's why we came together and we created Mind Body Elevation. Because it's not just about the mind, it's not just about the body, it's about both together in unison and harmony to create a better, more elevated you. And that's our mission. Not only to elevate ourselves, but it's to inspire you guys to elevate yourselves and each other.
Exactly. Yeah. From the comfort of your own home.
Yes, the era of information. Now this is possible. So let's do it.
Very grateful for that. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on our Patreon. We finally launched on Patreon this month. very, very happy about that. Right now what we're offering on Patreon is 10-minute workouts for those who are beginners in exercising or have already worked out in the past but are getting adjusted to working out again. These workouts are amazing and you're going to see results quickly. So I urge you to subscribe, and we will soon be having meditation classes with Laz here.
That's right, Mary. We're going to also provide meditation in Patreon, as well as yoga, breath work, and sound healing.
Thank you guys so much for watching our self-awareness video, and see you guys next time.
Stay elevated.